what you call the fat cars arriving at the National Assembly. Let's see whether you see the image of President Uhuru Kenyatta. But of course, that is not the president, who is arriving. But who is that? Let me see from my screen. I believe it was one of the dignitaries.
They have masks. It's very hard to recognize them.
That's a problem because everybody's putting on masks. But I can see the two speakers of the House, and I can also see the leader of government business, that is Honorable Amos Kemunya. I can also see Honorable Pogisho. So they are lining up, waiting for the handshake. So I think it's proper to imagine that the president may not be far away. But let's come back, to the issues here. He alluded to the fact that for the second time since the history of this country, Kenya is a member of the UN Security Council, a major achievement by all means. Do you expect the president, to blow the horn out and say, look here, this is a big achievement globally?
I think he doesn't need to go blowing his own trumpet. He's supposed to act. And there are two crises that he must address in that position. One of them is Somali. Whether we want or not, Somali is our neighbor. Yeah. And Somali is not going anywhere. And the sooner we make peace with Somali, the better for our economy. I don't see Somali as a violent country myself. I see it as a market. So if we can pacify Somali, we should have a bigger market. The second country he has to deal with is Ethiopia. Ethiopia has been unstable for the last 1 year or so. And in that position in the U.S. Security Council, I think our president has a very good position to exert pressure on the combatants so that they make peace. So if he can make peace with the neighbors, if he can make sure they are peace with neighbors, that would be a very lasting legacy. So that is he's in a very good position to make sure that those two countries are peaceful and they become our good.
And why are you forgetting South Sudan?
South Sudan, I am sure Kenya played a very big role in pacifying that country. So
State of the Nation address in accordance to Article 132 of the Constitution. Give us some, remember this is the second State of the Nation address when President Uhuru Kenyatta is addressing when leaders, when COVID-19 pandemic had happened in 2020, the country was not being able to hold a State of the Nation address owing to the numbers of COVID-19 situation, and the country was under lockdown.
And even, Angela, this is the first time State of the National address is being held in December, because it's supposed to be done earlier or even in the middle of the year. But because of the COVID-19, the numbers were so high, and of course the country was in readiness to receive, or rather to vaccinate its people. So it cannot be done until now, when even the members of Parliament, all of them have been vaccinated. So at least they are a bit safer, not very safe, but at least they are safer, or in readiness for the State of the Nation address, because this must be done. It's a direction of the Constitution. So regardless of any calamity or whatever happens, the State of the National address must be held. So that is live pictures coming to from Parliament buildings. Deputy President William Ruto has just made, his way into the Parliament buildings, and there you see
he's received by
the National Assembly Speaker, Justin Muturi, and his counterpart of the Senate, Ken Lusaka. There you go.
Amos Kemunya, the majority leader in the National Assembly, receiving Deputy President and his counterpart in the Senate, Samuel Pogisho, Margaret Kamar, who is the Deputy Speaker, and our counterpart in the National Assembly, Cheboy, John Badi and James Orengo, Kananu, and Kananu is the Speaker, who is the sitting Nairobi Governor, who was inaugurated recently. Elders members of Parliament, Eden Kainan, are also in the lineup to receive the Deputy President, William Ruto, MP Jagwa, Senator for Nairobi Sakaja, Junet Mohammed, among other dignitaries. The President is expected to arrive at Parliament buildings shortly to give his 8th and the second last State of the Nation address in accordance to the Constitution. Giverson, the winds are promising and the clouds are promising. Anytime soon it could be pouring. It remains to be seen if people will remain standing to receive the head of state even when the rain pours. Remember, the head of state is expected shortly to address the 8th State of the Nation address. You've seen the Secretary General for Jubilee Party, a party that President Uhuru Kenyatta was elected to head the nation in 2013 and 2019, made his ways to Parliament, waiting to hear his boss address.
I don't know whether you can observe this, Angela, but the DP is taking his time, a lot of time, to greet or address or pass regards to the guests, including members of Parliament, speakers, and of course the CJ is there in that line. He's taking a lot of time. It means the president could arrive at a later time, maybe 10 minutes or so. He's taking a lot of time. If you can see, even he's greeting, of course, and then saying a word or two, taking about a minute or even 3 minutes to talk to one guest, and about 10 guests are remaining on the line, or rather in the queue. So this tells you the president could arrive at about 3, let's say at about 3, because it's almost 3:15, and you can see the DP is not in hurry at all.
Giverson, this State of the Nation address is one of the most important, as all Kenyans will be watching to hear what President Uhuru Kenyatta will have to tell the nation. Remember, the president was, in accordance to the Constitution, is expected to address bicameral Parliament yearly, once per year, to give the scorecard of the current government which he was elected. This is also coming at the time when the country is staring at the general election next year. These political temperatures are flattering, and leaders from different political divide already giving their interests and hoping to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta once he leaves office. Among the key things that the head of state is expected to address today is the state of the national debt. The president is also expected to address issues of economy, issues of COVID-19. Remember, the state said that the president is expected to give at least 10 million Kenyans be vaccinated before end
December
of 2021 year. And as it stands now, around 2 million Kenyans have been fully vaccinated, coming at the time when a new variant from South Africa has been realized in the country. We can see the head of the second in command, the Deputy President, making his way to parliamentary buildings. This could be a sign that...
This is a signal of anytime arrival of Uhuru Kenyatta, the president.
Yeah.
The DP has just gone outside, dashed outside of the gate, or rather the entrance of the parliament buildings. It's a signal, or rather an indication, that the president could be arriving anytime soon. But something you've noted, Angela, is that DP is here, but ODM leader Raila Odinga, or rather handshake partner Raila Odinga, is inside. He's inside in the parliament building, so he'll not be here to receive the president.
That is in accordance to the protocols, and the DP is expected to receive his boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta's. Other guests who are non-parliamentary, who are non-members of parliament, are waiting for his address at the Speaker's gallery, according to the invitations that were sent to all non-members of parliament by the Speaker of the Senate through to members, to leaders from different factors, IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati, the Judiciary Martha Koome, to represent judicial system here. Also, you can see Mutiambai, who is IG, Inspector General of Police, already here. And all members of Parliament, House leadership here lined up to receive the head of state.
So earlier on, we spoke to Kipchumba Murkomen, the former majority leader in the Senate, and he told us that there was something interesting, happened in the afternoon. They came here driving into the parliament buildings, anticipating to, of course, attend the State of the National address. but they only found out that there was a list of the senators who were supposed to, of course, attend the State of the National Address, and as a good number of those, he says, are allied to Deputy President William Ruto have been omitted in the list. The list with me have about 27 senators who have been invited to attend to the State of the National Address. And of course, they include Samuel Pogisho, Senate Majority Leader. We have James Orengo, Senate Minority Leader. Of course, Margaret Kamar, who is Deputy Speaker. Kimani Wamatangi, he is the Senate Majority Leader. Fatuma Dulo, he is Deputy Senate Majority Leader. There we go. We have Stewart Madzayo, his Deputy Senate Minority Leader. This is the list of the senators who have been invited to attend the Senate, the State of the National, the State of the National Address by President Uhuru Kenyatta, and this list does not have members of the Senate who are said to be allied to Deputy President. Only one person from that section, or rather side, or rather political wing, is on this list, and this is, of course, Aaron Cheriot. And according to Murkomen, he says the only reason that Aaron Cheriot has been allowed to attend this particular function, or rather state function, is because he is a commissioner at the Parliamentary Service Commission. So it remains, to be seen whether this will be relaxed and those particular senators will be allowed to attend that particular function. So we are about to see this because President Uhuru Kenyatta is just about to arrive in a few minutes or so, because his deputy William Ruto has made his way into the Parliament buildings, and he's just standing there before the parade by the KDF outside the Parliament buildings. They're supposed to, of course, welcome the president to make what they say could be his last State of the National Address.
Yeah, it will be Uhuru's second last address, or probably the last, but as the Constitution requires, he's expected to also address next year. The President is expected to deliver the State of the Nation address every year. This is President Uhuru's second and final term, ends in August 2022. Today's address will be one to watch, with Kenyans keen to hear what the President will emphasize known as it nears the end of his second term. He's expected to give priority to the global COVID-19 pandemic, especially mitigation measures against the new variants discovered in South Africa. This is even as Kenya's positivity rate has fallen to under 1%. The WHO threshold percentage for lifting curfews and other containment measures is when the positivity rate falls under 5%. He will also be expected to speak about the 2022 general elections, the political temperatures, the country's ailing economy, especially the ballooning debt. Remember, according to the Central Bank of Kenya, the country's external debt stands at 4 trillion, while the domestic one stands at 3.7 trillion as of June 2021. We also expect the president to touch on matters security. This is coming at the time when the heads of security councils in African Union met, try and to deliberate on the ongoing fights between the Tigrays and the Somali government under Abiy. This is coming at the time also when the country has experienced a lot of red alerts, coming at the time when 3 suspects from committee prisons